Good afternoon. Hello, welcome to the plot. This is the third attempt at filming this. I keep telling you that I'm going to get jobs done on the plot today, and then my daughter's school keeps phoning and telling me that it's time to pick her up, and it's the third day in a row. So, we're not going to waffle too much. There's loads to do. I've brought lots of bought plants up to plant up today. I don't know where they're going to go. I've come with my gloves ready, and let's go see what needs doing. Onions and brassicas. These are the plugs that weren't very healthy looking, which are doing okay. Obviously, we've lost one or two back there, but yeah, these are looking okay. We're going to get those sorted. And then there's quite a lot of weeding, but I don't think we're going to get much of that done today, unless it's in a bed that we need to weed to access. Got a barrow full of stuff here. Got my peas, more onions, rocket, little gem, beetroots, and some purple sprouting broccolis, and a few garlics that my parents gave me that they had left over. So I need to decide where we're putting those. I've just spoken to my dad about what space he needs. So yeah, let's get going. So I've just been placing where I want everything. I think I'm going to put my purple sprouting broccoli in here because we had beans in here last year. Peas, I've decided I'm going to, instead of making a separate support, because I've only got 6 multi-sown plugs, I'm going to grow 3 up each side of these. I'm going to put my beetroot in this bed with these, and put the rocket in this bed, or part of this bed. This bed had brassicas in last year, and I'm going to grow my onions in here this year. We've got broad beans in here. These are looking great as well. These are broad dreadnought, these beans. These were bought, shop bought. These 2 beds are probably going to have dwarf beans in because these had brassicas in last year. This had beans and garlic in last year, and I think I'm going to give this bed to my dad for his cauliflower, but he could also take, well, he could take any of them that are available really, but he could also have the big brick bed by the greenhouse, which has been mulched with homemade compost. So that probably would be a good one actually if he's trying to grow prize winning veg, because there's more space. I haven't got anything planned for the little beds yet. I often overlook the little beds. I'll plan the big beds and then I'll be like, oh, little beds. Well, maybe the rocket would be good in a little bed. So it'll take up less space. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to start with the peas. I've planned to put garlic in this large bed here. I'm going to sow some parsnips into here and some carrots as well. Maybe today, maybe not. If I get time, but that's one of the last jobs. I want to get the plants in first before I start sowing seeds. And yeah, little gem lettuce. I think I'm going to put in the polytunnel, but I want to get the polytunnel dug up, all the weeds dug out, and it tidied up in there as well. I also want to give it a good water because I haven't watered it over the winter and I don't want it to become hydrophobic. It may already be. This bed has got the dahlia tubers in. I don't know if they're going to survive because the other ones had rotted, but they were a bit deeper. But we've had such a wet winter that even though they're in raised beds, I'm not hopeful they're going to survive. But yes, I think I'm quite happy with how that's going. So, well, let's get started. So I'm going to start planting the brassicas out. And the first one I'm going to go with is cabbage Duncan. Now I'm going to put them in these beds here because these are the beds that I had the beans in. Now where are my gloves? Where are my gloves? There you are. Always losing stuff. Now where is my trowel? There it is. In my purple sprouted broccoli. So onto the brassicas. Now I'm going to sort of prep this bed a little bit. This is where I grew the cocoa de pampon beans. We didn't get to eat any, but we did get a lot for seeds. That's great. So I'm going to plant out. I'm just going to knock back these weed seeds. There's nothing pernicious that I can see. I did take some buttercup out of here the other day. So that's, and I was really careful to try and make sure I got all the seeds. So yes. So now, interestingly, I haven't limed any of these beds, which I normally would because of the club root. I didn't see any signs of it last year, but that's because, you know, when my dad had this allotment, he knew where the club root was. He knew there were spots of it where he'd plant a brassica and it'd be affected. And obviously, we have completely dug up the allotment and put the soil and compost mix into these beds, and so it will be spread around, and it's might not be the cleverest thing to do, but I didn't see any signs of club root on any of the brassica roots last year, and everything grew really well. So we'll just see how we go, and I'm sure over the years I'll figure it out when there are bits of club root. So cabbage Duncan, that's what we're going with, and these are compact cabbages. Apparently we can space them 30 centimeters apart. So I've not got many of any of these. These are plug plants that I got, and they were a bit they weren't the best looking when they came. They were very yellow and weedy. They are very leggy. I think there's 8 of each. If, you know, I got 8 of each. Whether there'll be 8 of each still, I don't know. There are of these cabbages though. Yeah, so we'll move those away a second, and we'll see how we're going to do here. So 30 centimetres is a foot, so we're not going to get many in here. Oh, we're going to get 6. So do you know what I'm going to do, don't you? I'm just going to cram them in. I'm just going to break the rules and chuck them in, and we'll see. If we get smaller cabbages, so be it. I'm the only person in my house that eats them anyway. So, you know, there's only so much I want to eat of it. So, you know, remember, we are doing this for fun, not self-sufficiency. The crops that I get from this process are a bonus part of the process. I'm doing this because I enjoy it, not because I need to, thankfully, at this stage. Who knows what the future holds, but at least I'll have the skills I need to grow my own food, which is something that I think is a really important skill, I think, personally. What are you? Big thick root of something there. What are you? That's I think. I will leave the label in just so I try and remember what they are, but the wooden labels just tend to rot anyway, so we'll see. Now this bed also had beans in, so it will be good. Should be nice and nitrogen rich, as I did leave a lot of it in the bean roots in over winter. Right, so the onions are also multi-sown, shop bought, multi-sown. So that's good. Got lots of willow herb going up on this side of the plot. And I think we'll get volunteer tomatoes in here as well, because we've dumped the leftover spent compost from the pots, the tomatoes in pots. They did not do well. I think I'm still going to grow them, but I think I'll have them at home in my little cottage garden. I am not going to have space to move in that garden, let me tell you. Anyway, right, red onion, Niagara. Versatile red onion with firm white flesh that has a lovely mild flavour. Plant 10 centimeters. Centimeters? What is that? What is a centimeter? 10 centimeters apart, 30 centimeters between rows. So, yeah, and this is multi-sown. So, I'm not going to separate them out. I am going to sow them multi-sown because smaller onions are fine for me. Yeah. So, we'll see how we get on. I will sort of dump them into their positions now and see how much space we need and see if we can manage all the onions in one bed. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, do you know what? Would it be better growing onions down there? Not sure. See how much space they're going to take up, eh? Because we're probably going to get a chance to have a couple of beds worth of onions. Funyuns. So one, that's 30, roughly. So we've got 3 rows here. 10 centimetres apart. A little bit more than 10 centimetres as they're multi-sown. Yeah, we've got loads of room. Lots of room. We could probably do, yeah, half and half. Again, like, I don't need masses of onions. Don't need massive onions even. So we'll go right down the middle. Here we go. 10 centimetres, a little bit more than 10. Because, yeah, like I said, onions. Multi-sown. This row's going to be slightly off rhythm with the other one because of the rounded edges. I did go to a garden centre yesterday to try and find some tomato plants, but honestly they were a mess, the ones that they had. They were all looked like they'd been dried out, outside too early, just were a complete mess. In fact, the chilies they were selling, grafted chilies, had all been topped. They looked like they'd been, badly damaged and by the weather or lack of water or whatever, and they were cut down to a stump about probably 1.5 inches tall, no leaves on them. I thought they were still selling them for quite expensive because they were grafted. I think they might even have been cut down to, where the graft was, so they definitely wouldn't do that well. But yeah, the tomatoes were all growing wonky. They'd been leggy. They were just in a mess, and so I decided not to bother. Right, lovely. Right, let's see what the other variety is. We have got these are the ones I got yesterday. I got these a few weeks ago. Iceni, Iceni, and it says versatile white main crop onion with thick brown skins, stars well. Same planting distance. Lovely. Right, let's get these in. Here we go. Lovely. Right, time for a cup of tea. And I think I need to take this body warmer off. Okay, I'm just taking a minute to drink my tea and think about where things are going to go and what things are going to do. So, these 2 beds here were brassicas last year, the ones in front of me. And so I think I'm going to grow dwarf beans in them, dwarf French beans. I find with French beans, the dwarf ones are far more productive. Well, they're not more productive than a big plant, obviously, but they're really, really productive. You can plant them close together. And I got so many beans. I grew a variety called Sinesta last year, which is a really nice variety. It's a light, limey coloured bean. This year I've got Ferrari, and I think they're called Tender Green, but I'll write it down below if I'm wrong. I got them yesterday from the garden centre. So I think I'm going to just grow runner beans up the 2 supports that Mark has made for me. And I think that I'll grow a variety. I've got some self-saved seeds from last year, home saved seeds. I got, I think they're Blue Lake. They didn't do very well, but I did get some seeds from them. A bit like the Coco de Pampol, which I'll probably grow in one of these beds as well. But then I'm probably going to get something. I might order some sardines. That's CZAR. They're a really good bean, and I grow them for the bean, so they're like a butter bean, and I love butter beans. So yeah, do that. Then I'm thinking I'm going to be growing quite a few courgettes because I do like to freeze the courgettes and use them throughout the year, and I didn't really have any this year to do that with. So you get really sick of courgettes or zucchini. I find you do, but that's why I freeze a lot of them so that I can get bored of them all year, not just for a couple of months. So, dahlia bed, we don't think anything's coming up. The herb bed and the celery bed at the end by the fence, those two are empty. They actually could be good carrot and parsnip beds for me, and I could save the bigger beds for my dad, because I'm pretty sure my dad wants some parsnip and carrot bed space. Yeah. Oh, that sunshine is so nice. There's a really nice breeze. It's really windy at my house because I live at the top of a hill, but here it's so lovely. You know, we don't sit and enjoy the spaces sometimes enough. And then sometimes we sit and enjoy it for too long and we don't get any jobs done. So off we go. Hi, it's the next day. I did so much waffling on at you yesterday that the camera battery died, or the phone battery died, and I had to go. Because if my phone dies, I have to leave. I can't be here without a phone. So today's been hectic. It's been bonkers. My youngest went to school at 11 because she had a bad night, which often happens. Perfect example of why I struggle to get here sometimes. Anyway, got her there, started doing the things I got a phone call, and I had to do some sort of admin for her, and everything's gone to pot today. And then we ended up with my parents, ended up going to a local plant nursery. We're going to go to a local big garden centre that's a bit further away. Ended up not having time, or thinking we wouldn't have time. So we've come back, gone to the local plant nursery. They've had to rush home, and it's just around the corner from the allotment. So I've got all my tomatoes. I've bought some tomatoes, and the ones I sowed that Ali gave me the seeds for, they have actually started to germinate now. It's taken a while, but they're there and they're looking okay. So we'll have a look at those when we go back. So I've just stopped off at the allotment because I didn't get to show you what I got done yesterday, and I've got some salad leaves that I want to plant up in the polytunnel. I did actually end up just planting out the ones that I got yesterday, the day before yesterday anyway, outside. We'll see. They're little gems. We'll see how they go. So I've just started weeding the polytunnel and thought I better show you what I'm doing. And I'm just going to get my big riddler thing, my big grid, and I'm just going to tidy up in there because there's a lot of old tomato skins, a lot of plastic labels. Go through the mess, clear it all out, and I'm going to give it a good water because it hasn't had much water for a long time. It's not very, very dry because there were enough weeds in there that tell me that actually there's still moisture in there, but let's just get on, yeah? Let's get on. Right, I have watered the polytunnel and I've just washed out some pots that I want to take home as well. I'll show you those ones. I am drenched now, honestly. So I want to take these home with me. Oh, I'm slipping. So I'm going to take these pots home with me because they're quite big. I mean, they're not massive, but you know, they're quite sizable. They might work for some of the smaller varieties of dahlias. Anyway, so yes, I got some celery. I've just put it in my green wheelbarrow. And this is the lettuce I've got, Lola Rossa, and just lettuce leaves mixed. I think they'd be nice in pots in my cottage garden area, just so I can go out and pick it fresh. Didn't get the purple sprouting planted yesterday, but the peas are in, the beetroots are in. A couple of these lettuce plants have just been dug up again. I think it's the squirrels. They seem to like digging in the beds that look like they've been recently dug. Rocket and more peas, onions, broad beans are still looking good, and yes, the marsh marigolds. Pond still looks a bit scrappy, but yes, and the erigeron does look like it's still, in fact, it's coming into bud. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. So everything's going to come back. I need to get some of that weed out, I think. Sort that out. I need to get a little net. So yeah, what else did we do yesterday? We did some weeding. Got the lettuce, some more of the lettuce planted out, little gem again, and some of the brassicas. So these are the cauliflowers. This is the Jerusalem artichoke bed, which does have some Jerusalem artichokes popping up now. I did leave some of the tubers in on purpose. Then we've got the cabbage Duncan. We've got the Calabrese Marathon. I sowed some carrot seeds. I left some of the packet there, that's good, isn't it? And that's it, really. So, I haven't got long now. So I might just see, yeah, I'll show you where they've been digging as well. Yeah, been digging up in here, and they keep digging here. Haven't brought that other plant up yet, but this is how our bed's doing from last time. Yeah, looks all right. That's the salvia, but it looks just like they've been a Bedariensis at the moment, but it isn't. I don't know what this is, actually. This is growing out of the ground. Yeah. And look down here. You know, you can tell Mark's been here. I found one in my tumble dryer the other day. That's odd. Herb planter is still looking good. Hope the sound quality's okay. I haven't got my microphone because I wasn't expecting to stop by. Oh, and let's just have a quick look at Mark's bean supports. There they are. That'd be quite good, that. They look all right to me. Hopefully they'll stand up to the wind. But yeah. Right. I'm going to go home and I'll show you the tomatoes we've got. Hello, welcome back to a very sunny garden at home. I want to show you the tomato varieties that I've got, but first, at the beginning of the week, I finally got into the front garden and I did some tidying up. I don't film what I do in the front garden because I don't want to give my location away, and also I live on a main road and we get quite a lot of people walking past. And actually, I don't always enjoy gardening in the front garden full stop just because you're very conspicuous. Anyway, I did it and I got some done, and I did get some before and after footage, and let's talk you through what I got done. This is how the garden looked at the beginning of this week. It's full of, there's a lot of weeds, but there's also a lot of Spanish bluebells, which I do remove when I see them, although I never quite seem to get the bulbs up. But there's a lot of self-seeded plants as well that we do want, things like foxgloves, Nautia macedonica, antirrhinums, poppies, aquilesias. They don't always self-seed themselves in the right place, and some of them, like aquilesians and poppies, I get so many that if they're not in the right place, they'll just be moved or taken out altogether. The poppies don't get moved, the poppies get removed if they are not in the right place. But the foxgloves, I'll move them. The Nautia macedonica, I'll definitely move that if I see it. Um, so yes, but this is Aquilegia corner there because there's so many. Now, if I just freeze the video here, we've got two new flagstones there because we've had to extend the path to get past the caravan. And so the big hardy geranium that was there has been removed mostly, and there's just a little bit there. So this area is one area that I really want to particularly work on. And so I did. So let me show you what I had to plant. Okay, so these are the plants that I'm going to take into the front garden with me to plant up today. These are the Achilleas. I've got a couple of these Achillea colorado. This is the golden cloth, or cloth of gold, that's the one. And then I've got a couple of the little bare root summer pastels one that I grew from bare roots. Then I've got 3 hardy geranium Roseanne. I've got 2 Alaska Rivers, and I've got 2 albums as well. See the difference? Lovely little leaves. Then geums, I've got 3. This is my last totally tangerine. I've put the other 2 in the back garden. This one is trying to flower already, so I'm hoping I'm going to take that bud off and just, you know, plant it up. Then I've got 2 of the Scarlet Tempests, this one and this one. I've got a Salvia Nemorosa caradonna. I've ordered 3 more bare roots of this because it is a plant that I do want to have in quite a few different places. I've got my Rudbeckia Herbston, or Herbston. My Erysimum Bowles Mauve perennial wallflower, and then this lovely Nepeta. I do already have a Nepeta in the back garden that didn't do so well last year, but is coming back quite nicely. So these are the ones I'm going to start with. I have got some more bare root plants on order, and I've just added up the order, and I've ordered 33 bare root plants. Where are they going to go? Because I don't know where these are going to go. Honestly, I think I've got a problem. Anyway, let's get started. So I started with this area because the penstemon here had got very woody and wasn't really showing much new growth. So I decided, because I've got 6 replacement plants for that anyway, that I would remove it. And there's also a Shasta daisy that my mum planted here 8 years ago, and it's gradually over the last 2 or 3 years got smaller and smaller. So I have one to replace it, so I am going to do that. So I've removed it, and it didn't have much of a root ball. And I've just taken out a little salvia that I've moved to somewhere else as well because it was crammed in. And this is how it looks now. There's still lots of little seedlings everywhere. I don't mind the poppies and the Aquilegias growing up. Like I said, the poppies can just be cut down if they need to be, and the Aquilegias can be removed and planted elsewhere. I don't get many self-seeded Aquilegias in the back garden, sorry. So, in this area, I've put the geranium Roseanne there near the front, and just behind it, I have got the Rudbeckia there. So hopefully that will grow up nicely. It's got the Japanese anemones behind it. I keep pulling those out. I'm not taking them out altogether, but I keep them at bay. Then we've got Alstroemeria there at the back, which is beautiful. That is a white campion, and next to it is one of the hardy geraniums. Alaska Rivers or album. I forget which is which. Then look at this. My overwintered antirrhinum is full of buds. I am so excited by this because I absolutely love antirrhinums. I will be buying some to dot in amongst things as the new perennials grow up, but I don't think the new ones will flower anywhere near as well as these, provided we don't get any really hard frosts now. That is Achillea Summer Pastels. And next to it is this Geum Pink Petticoats. I thought I'd taken them out because I'll be honest with you, I don't love them. They're a little bit, I don't know, subdued for my liking, but they are really pretty, and I will leave it here. I don't know what that is. I don't know, but it doesn't look good. And then we've got some phlox here. Now, phlox do not tend to do well in my garden, and they don't often come back, but I have got these coming back, and I've got some under the plum tree as well. So I'm very happy about that, although the slugs keep eating them. Now, this is Aquilegia Alley. This is where they all are. They self seed. There is actually a rose at the back there, um, which is the lark ascending, but it's absolutely swamped with these Aquilesias. I think it'll be okay. And there we've got the Fascini or Fascini. There's the other phloxes that are there. And then at the front, you'll see that I've put another one of the geranium roseannes in. Just there. And then at the front there's a geum. Now, I believe this one is Lady Stratheden, which is a lovely geum. It hasn't performed as well here as it did in the centre border by the pear tree, but yeah. And that is a Scarlet Tempest geum there. And we've got a lovely Naughty Macedonica and a scabious there. Underneath the plum tree, we've got a foxglove that's self-seeded. And we've got another Achillea at the back there. Another summer pastels with my geranium. It might get swamped by the geranium if I'm honest, but yeah. There's my buttercup rose, which is David Austin, and I've put Verbena bonariensis, another hardy geranium. Has done an offshoot from that, and then that is Achillea Colorado that I've put there. But yeah, look, another antirrhinum with so many buds. Can't wait to see those ones. This rose is, I believe, Queen of Sweden. Yeah, it didn't do well last year. It didn't flower at all in its first year, which is unusual for a David Austin, but the ground here is not great. Then that is an echinacea popping up. I'm excited by that. I am. And I mentioned earlier there was a salvia in the wrong place. There's two here. That's one that was really crammed in, and I wanted to move it. And then there's another one there that is looking okay. I've got lots of self-seeded Achillea or Achillea that's come from runners from the white one. There's another pink petticoats geum there. Lots of foxgloves, lupins. Foxgloves always end up at the front of the border. I don't know why they do that. They just don't understand garden design. We've got some more Naughty Macedonica Melton pastels. That was my big clump of white Achillea there. There's a Shasta daisy that I've put in. That's the one to replace the one my mum planted. I've put an Erissimum in here. Now, Erissimum are great, but they're quite short-lived. So that will grow up and fill the space this year, but then next year the other plants will take over. This area never seems to do very well down by the path, but we've got an Achillea, we've got a Salvia. The hardy geranium that had to come out for that area has put on quite a bit of growth. There's a little bit left over. There's 3 penstemon and plum jerkums there that I've replaced. Another hardy geranium roseanne. An Achillea. This area is really crammed in. And then one of the smaller geraniums. And there's my mallow, my lavaterra from last year. And the very dead-looking Verbena bonariensis in the top right is actually still alive. And the sedum from the driveway is poking through too. That rose top right now is Septodile. And so, yeah, it's looking okay. The roses have put on a lot more growth than they have in recent years. This one is Generous Gardener, and this one, I believe, is Gertrude Jekyll. They might be the other way around, but that's what the roses are. The tree is now in bloom, and it is looking really lovely. This central part, I did actually take out an awful lot of self-seeded antirrhinums because they were very small and they looked a bit scrappy. Perennial cornflower there is coming into flower, and all I did in this area was weed, not thoroughly, as you can see there's some in the lawn still, and put in that hardy geranium there. Got lots of echinacea and rudbeckia coming back. The rudbeckia is spreading quite significantly, but yeah, it's all growing up, and yeah, it's not quite at that stage where it's starting to look really, really good, but I feel like it's going to look good quite soon. We got some nice foxgloves coming up there as well. Lots of foxgloves. I am very happy to see so many self-seeded foxgloves. I did rake the lawn to get a lot of the dead material out because I have got some clover seed that I want to sow in the lawn. It's very weedy, so I might get in with my hori hori and just take some of the worst things out. But yeah, you can see there's another self-seeded antirrhinum there. There's all sorts of things coming up, but I'm going to see how they go. There's lots more weeds to get out as well, weeds that I obviously couldn't see at the time, but now we filming this, I can definitely see them. But I think we're going to get in and re-edge the lawn and just make everything quite neat. That's another salvia, but it is still alive. It's just taking its time to come up. It's covered in weeds as well, actually, but it is still alive. Yeah. I've got a couple more plants now that I need to get in. I need to find a space for a campanula that my mum's given me as well. So I really don't know where I can put that though. Yeah, so I'm happy with how that's looking. Now, tomatoes. I got some from the garden centre yesterday, but I also got some my parents have got leftovers. So they always oversow and they always have good germination rates, which is good for me because here we have black cherry, and I've got 3 of these, and they're really good sturdy plants. They're a really nice black cherry tomato. Our black cherry tomatoes, shockingly enough. Next, I got 6 hanging basket tomatoes. Now, these are not going in hanging baskets. These are going to go in pots like this here in the greenhouse. So I've got 6 of them. Tomatoes tend to get blight very easily here, so I'm going to keep them in the greenhouse instead. I've got 2 tumbling tom reds, 2 tumbling tom yellows, and 2 tumblers. So they're the ones for there. Now for the allotment, we've got the black cherry, but we've also got, and I'm just going to read these out to you. But Gardener's Delight, Sweet Million, Elsa Craig, Moneymaker, Sun Baby, Big Daddy, which is a beefsteak, Shirley, F1, Alicante, and oh, that's the other Tumbling Tom. So that's what we've got so far. Then I've got the ones that Ali from My Rusty Garden sent me. They have germinated now. They're still inside under grow lights because they're still very young. I might bring them out today though because they are reaching. I don't think my grow lights are very good, so I think I will just bring them out. And if we're going to get really bad weather, I'll bring them in the house. I have the greenhouse closed anyway. I also picked up a chili. I haven't got any chilies this year. This is actually, I thought it was cayenne. I just saw it from a distance, picked it up. It isn't. It's Cheyenne. So I don't know what that's like. I really would like a couple of jalapenos if I can find them. But that's it. But everything's growing up really nicely in here. I picked up a couple, 3 borage plants. I'm going to grow at least 1 here and probably 2 at the allotment. I got this for the front garden as well, which I do need to plant it out because I planted it out before I bought this. But this is a bronze fennel. Absolutely beautiful plant. I love the foliage, and when the flowers come and the seed heads are just, no, I hate the smell and the taste of them, but I love the way they look. And I've got a spot at the back, at the end of the front of the garden, and nothing really grows there except creeping buttercup, and I just want to have something quite tall and quite, and I think that'll do well because it self seeds all over the garden. I had one years ago, my mum gave me, and she put it in the corner. It was great, but it was too big, and whenever we got cows in the field behind, they would just stick their head over and they'd just eat it. Which, I'm happy to feed the cows, but yeah. So it never really, anyway, it self-seeded into the field at the back. So all along the garden fence, we actually have fennel now. We have Achillea, we have fennel, I have Naughtia Macedonica. So not only is the field send me all its grass and bittercress and cleavers and stuff, and dandelions and thistles and the rest of it, I can then send some of my things into the field as well. So all done by the wind, not me. Anyway, yes, everything's growing up nicely. I've got 4 trays of cosmos, which are doing okay. They've been out in the greenhouse a while. The larkspur is coming on really nicely. I've got a tray of parsley I bought the other day. I'm going to pot that up. Probably going to grow this in pots. My zinnias are doing well. The perennial plug plants that we've got in trays are looking great. In fact, some of them, I think the foxgloves look like they could just go into the garden. And yeah, it's all going well. I've got a tray of foxgloves that I've grown from seed inside, and the variety says that they may grow, if you grow them early spring, which I have done, that they may actually flower the same year. So we'll see. I can hear a child crying. Right, so I'm going to start potting this lettuce up into bigger pots now, but you are going to have to wait till next week to see that because it's time for me to say goodbye. So I hope you have a really great and productive gardening week. I hope I do too, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.